Hey there, recap it on your screen. I will be explaining a German comedy film titled Look Who's Back. Hey! Grab your popcorns and stay glued. Somewhere in Berlin, Germany during the Second World War, Koppl, a behavior coach, is with the Fuhrer Hitler. Hitler conveys his opposition with the motion of people's greeting to Koppl. He argues that though the way the Nazi salute is out of fashion, people should at least lift up their hands to the wrist level to show respect. Then, he recounts that he has perpetrated everything feasible by a human to destroy the establishments of the opponent who defaced their ground. He uncovers the German's presence unimaginable and finds it strange that he is present too. The next scene shows when he wakes up on the floor in a forest with his eyes fixed on the sky. He notices that the opponent's aircraft is nowhere to be found and discerns that they probably took some time off to rest. Abruptly, a ball comes rolling towards him and stops beside him. He stands up from where he lied and moved towards his structure. 3 young kids then approached him to ask if he's okay. Hitler looks at them and believes they are the future of the country. He then asks them for directions to the main street. In that same vein, a man named Fabian Sawatzki, who is a TV reporter, is filming the kids on his camera, and known to him Hitler is filmed as well in the scene on the other end of the screen. He picks up his cap and says to himself that he should go to the Fuhrer Bunker. Hitler finds his way to the street and gets surprised at people riding monowheel bikes. He sees crowds taking pictures of him with their cameras and expresses that, though the rubble went, people have gone insane because their actions were strange to him. Then, he places his hands on a modern car to feel it and wondered if he slipped into a coma and missed the victory. He reasons that he is not fully aware of his situation and pushes himself to gather more information. Then, he asks a man about the direction to the Chancellery, but the person instead asks him for a picture. He gets perplexed by the people cameras flashes as they come near him and each take photos. New to the unusual events surrounding him, he comes to a conclusion that something went wrong in the place. As he walks away, he sees a woman speaking German on her phone. Then he comes closer and asks her about the current date, but the woman gets terrified of him and sprays his eyes with a pepper spray. Hitler cries in pain and anguish as it made his eyes reddish and his vision blurred. With the sting still in his eyes, he stumbles and walks to a newspaper kiosk. He checks out one of the newspapers and gets surprised to see the date October 3, 2014, written on the paper and slumps. Following, Sweet Karen, the boss of a TV station, gives praises to Mr. Christoph Sensenbrink for his job well done as the deputy's head. He put forward a greater solution but instead announces Miss Cottubellini, another employee, as the new managing director. Because of this, Christoph gets shocked and dissatisfied. He comes to his office and pours his anger on Fabian, a filmmaker. In spite of Fabian's trials to convince his boss, he gets sacked and thrown out by the guards. Sometime later, Hitler is awake at the newspaper shop and asks the owner about the date, who confirms it is really 2014. Hitler, now confused, asks questions if the shopkeeper had kidnapped him and also thinks it's a plan of the opponent's secret service. He threatens to kill the shopkeeper if he in fact works for the enemy, but the shopkeeper instead gives him a bar of chocolate. After struggling, Hitler opens it and sniffs it. He discerned it as an industrially pressed grain and asks the shopkeeper if there is still a shortage of bread. The shopkeeper asks Hitler if they're filming a documentary somewhere nearby, thinking he's an actor, to which the shopkeeper then says that he has a striking resemblance to the Fuhrer. Then, Hitler replies that he is in fact the Fuhrer. After that, Hitler cites the Turkish newspaper and asks the shopkeeper if he had either Sturm or Panzerbar. The shopkeeper says he has more Turkish customers. Hitler gets surprised at the presence of Turkish people in Berlin. He then starts gathering information from the newspaper. While reading it, he believes that he didn't win the war in the past and the country was given to the hands of clumsy women having the charisma of a wet noodle. He further disapproves the existence of Poland and concludes the war to be an apparent waste. Meanwhile, watching his video reports about Sakharine sacks sober at the fact that he was sacked from his job. His mother soothes him and asks him to pause the video, citing Hitler behind. Fabian is amazed by the discovery of a person who looks exactly like Hitler. Back in the shop, the owner of the shop asks Hitler to put the newspaper aside and stand outside. Hitler felt belittled by the fact that he was asked to work. The shopkeeper advised Hitler to wash his clothes because they are smelly. He then goes to a laundromat and asks them to wash his clothes. Hitler asks if they have another pair of clothes as he cannot walk around naked. Next, we see Hitler walking towards the shopkeeper with a jeans and sweater on. Fabian, on the other hand, has in some way figured where to locate Hitler and is waiting for him in the shop. After taking a look at Hitler, he is in awe of his appearance. Fabian proceeds to ask Hitler if he can make a documentary of him as he tours through modern Germany. Hitler then agrees with the proposal. Fabian starts his journey with Hitler using the car and cash his mother gave him. The two settle in a hotel where Hitler gets amazed at seeing the television. He then persuades to talk about politics in Fabian's documentary. He goes to places asking people about their political views. After concluding the interviews, he finds that there was very little impact of democracy on people during his absence. He notices that people were not happy and it suppressed anger, which reminds him of the 1930s, when people had similar views to now but lacked the term political disenchantment. People tell Hitler about the immigrant problem in the nation, making Hitler put forward his idea that mixing the races doesn't work. Next, Fabian asks Hitler the inspiration of his unique mustache. Hitler replies that he shaped his mustache to fit the shape of a gas mask. A while later, Fabian and Hitler end up in a farm when Hitler gets bit by a dog. He is furious and shoots the dog. Fabian disapproved of this and seizes the gun. At some point in the tour, Fabian is out money, but he devises a means to make cash. He persuades the passersby to have their sketches drawn by Hitler. Hitler then draws sarcastic pictures of them which they find funny and pay for it. They set out on their trick after making enough money. Back in town, Fabian shows a video of Hitler to Christoph. The video garnered a lot of views when Fabian uploaded it on the internet. Christoph is amazed by the large number of views in the video. He then asked Fabian for Hitler's name and contact details. After meeting him, Christoph had an impression that Hitler is a lunatic and asked Fabian to take him away from the office. Before leaving, Hitler goes into the director's office and asks her to save Germany together with him. Interested in the idea, Berlini asks him about the plan he has. She quickly asks her assistant to prepare a proper TV format for broadcasting the Fuhrer on listening to his idea. Fabian then threatens Christoph with the intention of getting his job back or else he will take Hitler away. On hearing this, Christoph makes him a kitchen boy, promising to give him a promotion when a new position in editorial comes up. Sometime later, a table is given to Hitler in the TV studio. Christoph then calls for Coma to put Hitler in line with computer use. Hitler recalls the computers of his days and labels the invention to be one of the greatest. Coma tries to create an email account for Hitler but informs him that his name is already taken. Hitler grumps for others stealing his name and tells her to use Reich's Chancellery as he liked it. Christoph plans to put Hitler on a lit comedy show called Whoa Dude. He is still scarred because Berlini got a promotion instead of him and intends to cause trouble for her. His motive to achieve this is to bring the subject of racism to the debate through sarcastic jokes and choosing throughout Hitler. The show starts, and Whit Zygmunt, the host, calls Hitler to the stage. The audience gossips about Hitler's appearance, but when Hitler stares at the audience, the whole became completely silent. Hitler soon breaks the silence, but does not read out the scripted lines. He discusses that he is meant to tell a joke about immigrants, but he is not going to do so. He says that the invention of the TV is great, but the show's broadcasters are nonsense. He sheds light on problems like poverty and unemployment, and predicts that the people of the country are heading towards the abyss without noticing it. Hitler vows to fight against the TV not only up to the broadcasts of the abyss, but also until he succeeds in overcoming them. Everyone likes the idea and applauded. Seeing Hitler's popularity, the host Whit Zygmunt gets salty. Berlini then asks Christoph to broadcast Hitler in every show. Christoph is disappointed because his plan failed. Next, we see Hitler make appearances and give interviews on countless TV shows and share that his motive is to make Germany great again. His popularity grows rapidly and he meets several people and dignitaries. He starts attracting them all by sharing his ideas. One day, Hitler and Fabian visit NPD headquarters in Berlin, which he then calls for the federal chairman of NPD, Adolf, and asks him what his propaganda has achieved so far. Hitler belittles him and says that they have wasted enough time, and the movement has slowed down by decades due to their words. Christoph gets excited when the cops and district attorney, DA, appear at the TV studio, stating that they are here for a complaint of charging violation of hate laws. Berlini asks what the next step is to be. In that instant, Christoph suggests that they might need to cancel the Fuhrer show. The DA says that they can keep on with the show. Berlini expressed relief while Christoph fakes a smile. After the DA leaves, Coma gives a letter to Christoph stating the payment of the dog which Hitler had shot earlier in his trip. Christoph receives the letter happily, believing it could be an opportunity to make trouble. In the following scene, Hitler is interviewed on a TV program where he's asked questions about his various roles in the war. Hitler responds that he wants to reach out to people, but the interviewer retorted telling him his deeds cannot be justified. He shows him a disturbing clip of him shooting the dog. The audience is shocked. Seeing this, Hitler is enraged and threatens that he would do the same to him. He then says he would turn their studio into a parking lot for war tanks. Christoph gets excited seeing people's negative reactions. Following the unappealing interview, Bellini is fired, and Christoph is given the position as the new manager. After that, Hitler goes to live in Fabian's house. It is happy about how destiny took its course and starts to write his second book. The book soon makes waves in the market. 3 months later, at the TV studio, everyone sits in a meeting discussing the massive loss the organization had incurred. Christoph expresses his belief in Wiggs' admits show with the potential of making them relevant, but one employee informs him that he has quit his job. Christoph gets disappointed and angry at the employees for losing the show. One of the employees suggests getting Hitler back. This idea takes interest in Christoph. He looks for Hitler again and offers Fabian a deal to invest $1 million in the film that Fabian and Hitler are shooting. If they in return let them broadcast the movie on their TV. Hitler and Fabian goes to Kromir's house where Kromir's grandmother recognizes Hitler. She claims that Hitler killed people by gassing them. She calls him a criminal and shouts him to get out. In the car, Hitler expresses that he didn't expect Kromir to be a Jew. He starts to downgrade Jews, calling them less of humans. Fabian disapproves of Hitler's actions and his words. Back in the set, Fabian gets Hitler to recount how he got to the place. He asks Hitler what happened before the ball came rolling towards him in the bush, but Hitler cannot remember it. Later at night, he walks out of the set and is surrounded by some thugs. They call him the reason to take Germany back and give him a hard blow on his face. Hitler opens his eyes and finds himself in a hospital in front of Bellini. On the other hand, Fabian looks over the video of the boys and soccer he captured. He takes a closer look at it and finds Hitler rose from where he was lying. Fabian is in awe at what happened. He quickly goes to the site and finds a board at the location, stating the historical location of Fuhrer Bunker. Fabian rushes to the hospital but doesn't find Hitler. Bellini says that he is on his way to the shooting set. Fabian reveals that he is the real Adolf Hitler, but Bellini finds it hard to believe. Fabian goes out of his mind and tries to explain his new discovery in a hysterical way. The guards try to catch him, but he flees. Fabian gets to the set and points a gun at Hitler. When asked about his identity, Hitler explains that he didn't project himself to them as anyone else. Fabian retorts that Hitler has a motive and is fooling people with his propaganda, to which Hitler replies that people elected a leader in 1933 who shared his whole idea openly. Fabian moves Hitler to the top of a building with his gun. He corners Hitler and labels him a monster. Hitler claps back, saying that ordinary people elected an extraordinary man and put the destiny of the nation in his hands. He states that people put him in place because they possess the same values in their inner hearts. Fabian, now enraged, shoots Hitler, making him fall down the building onto the street. In an instant, Fabian hears Hitler's voice, saying no German can get rid of him. And Hitler appears right behind him. Following this, Bellini calls for a cut in the studio, and everyone cheers for the success of the shoot. Apparently, it was a shoot and a random actor was playing the role of Fabian. Hitler then asks everyone to remember the comrades who could not be with them. Outside of this occurrence, Kromir is seen seeing Fabian in the mental ward through a hole. After the film booms, Hitler and Bellini gives autographs and interviews to fans. As they pass by a car, the people now fond of Hitler greets him with respect. Please subscribe for more videos like this, turn on post notification, and leave a like and comment to help the channel. Thanks.